establish belief as the hidden force stronger than talent, luck, or even opportunity. What do you believe about yourself when the world grows silent, when the noise fades, when no one is watching? That, more than anything, is the compass of your life. For belief is not some abstract idea, not some whisper of hope. It is the invisible hand that bends destiny itself. Every empire, every invention, every revolution began not with money, not with luck, not even with talent, but with belief. The kind of belief so fierce that it stands alone against ridicule, against rejection, against failure, and still declares, "It will be done." History does not remember the doubters. It does not celebrate the voices that said, "Impossible." History belongs to the believers. Edison, standing in the darkness, believed the world could be lit. Lincoln, in the shadow of defeat after defeat, believed the Union could endure. Henry Ford, mocked by bankers who told him no one would ever want a car, believed in a world on wheels. Disney, laughed at for sketching a mouse, believed in the magic of imagination. Each of them stood where you stand now, in the space between the life you have and the life you dream of. And the bridge that carried them across, that bridge was belief. Belief is the root of greatness. It is the seed that grows into forests of achievements. It is the oxygen of persistence, the fuel of resilience, the heartbeat of creation. Without belief, talent suffocates. Without belief, opportunities wither. Without belief, vision dies unborn. But with belief, the smallest flame becomes an inferno. The faintest idea becomes a revolution. The most fragile dream becomes an empire. Look at your own life. Look at the story you have told yourself for years. Have you believed in your power, or have you chained yourself with doubt? Most people live as prisoners inside cells built by their own thoughts. They inherit the limitations of others, the fears of parents, the skepticism of teachers, the mockery of peers, and they accept them as truth. They let the world write the script of their lives instead of taking the pen into their own hands. But you, if you choose, can step beyond those chains. For the truth is this: the world will always try to measure you, but it is your belief that defines your size. Napoleon Hill said, "Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve." That sentence is not poetry, it is law. Conceiving is imagination, but belief is the ignition switch. You can dream all day, but until belief turns the key, nothing moves. Belief is not passive hope. It is not wishful thinking. Belief is conviction that transforms vision into reality. It is the steel in your spine when the storm rages. It is the whisper that says, "Try again," when the world shouts, "Quit." It is the fire that refuses to die even when buried under the ashes of failure. Think of Edison again. 10,000 failures. Imagine the ridicule, the exhaustion, the endless darkness. A weaker man would have quit by the 100th attempt, maybe the 1,000th. But Edison's belief was stronger than the world's doubt. He said he had not failed 10,000 times. He had simply found 10,000 ways that didn't work. That is the language of belief. That is the refusal to bow to circumstance. What is the language you speak to yourself? When you fail once, do you call it the end? When you are rejected, do you stamp your dreams as impossible? Or do you rise, fueled by belief, knowing that every setback is not a tombstone but a stepping stone? Belief does not eliminate struggle. It transforms struggle into strength. Without struggle, belief would have no muscle. Belief grows in the furnace of adversity, forged like steel under heat. Lincoln was defeated in 8 elections, lost countless business ventures, and endured heartbreak after heartbreak. Yet his belief in the Union, in freedom, in the possibility of a better nation, drove him forward until he became the president who would hold America together. The world did not give him permission to lead. His belief demanded it. Do not wait for permission. Do not wait for validation. The world will rarely hand you a crown. You must forge it with your belief. The critics, the doubters, the so-called realists, they will tell you to be practical, to lower your expectations, to settle for what is given. But remember this: every person who has ever achieved greatness has been called unrealistic, impractical, foolish. Carnegie, Ford, Jobs, Musk. Each was mocked before they were celebrated. The world laughs before it applauds. If you are laughed at, take it as a sign you are on the path of the believers. Belief is not something you stumble into. It is something you build, brick by brick, day by day. Discipline is the mortar of belief. Each small victory, each completed task, each hour of focus adds weight to your conviction. Belief without action is fantasy. Action without belief is wasted motion. Together, they create destiny. You must see it in your mind, believe it in your heart, and then carve it with your hands. Vision feeds belief. Imagination is the canvas, but belief is the brush. Disney saw more than sketches, he saw worlds. Ford saw more than engines, he saw freedom. What do you see? When you close your eyes, what future burns in your mind so fiercely that you cannot escape it? That is the seed of your destiny. Protect it. Water it with effort. Shield it from the weeds of doubt. For belief is a garden, and only the one who tends it can reap its harvest. Life will test you. It will strike you with setbacks, batter you with rejection, tempt you with the comfort of mediocrity. Belief is your shield. Belief is your sword. When doors slam shut, belief kicks them open. When the path disappears, belief carves a new road. When failure laughs in your face, belief answers, "Not yet." Resilience is belief in motion. To be resilient is not to avoid falling. It is to rise every time you fall. Edison rose 10,000 times. Lincoln rose after defeat. Oprah rose after rejection. Jobs rose after being fired from his own company. Each comeback was built on belief. They did not rise because circumstances changed. They rose because their conviction refused to die. And here is a truth you must engrave into your heart. Belief is contagious. Surround yourself with those who believe, and your own conviction will multiply. Surround yourself with cynics, and your fire will dim. Napoleon Hill spoke of the mastermind, the alliance of minds united by belief. Alone, belief is powerful. Together, it is unstoppable. Gratitude strengthens belief. When you see what you already have, you trust in what can be. Carnegie built libraries because he believed knowledge could lift generations. Gratitude makes belief generous. It turns success from selfish pursuit into a force that uplifts the world. Believe not only for yourself, but for those you can inspire, those you can help, those whose lives can change because you dared to believe. Now hear this, belief is not reserved for the chosen few. It is not a gift of the elite, the privileged, or the lucky. It is yours here now. Your circumstances do not matter. Your failures do not matter. Your past does not matter. The only thing that matters is what you choose to believe about yourself today. For belief is the great equalizer. It ignores where you were born, how much money you have, how many mistakes you made. It asks only this: will you stand in faith, or will you kneel in doubt? Every empire, every invention, every revolution began with belief. And now it is your turn. Your belief is your superpower. It is the weapon the world cannot steal, the crown the world cannot deny, the fire the world cannot extinguish. If you dare to believe in yourself truly, fiercely, relentlessly, the world will bend. Mountains will move. Doors will open. The future will bow to your vision. So rise, believe, and act on that belief with all the force of your being. Let the world call you unrealistic. Let the critics laugh. Let the doubters whisper. For when the dust settles, when the history books are written, it will not be their doubt that echoes. It will be your belief that endures. Your belief is your superpower. Use it.